I have a confession to make. I am a health psychologist, and my mission is to help people be happier and healthier. But I fear that something I've been teaching is doing more harm than good. For years, I've been telling people stress makes you sick. It increases the risk of everything from the common cold to cardiovascular disease. Basically, I've turned stress into the enemy, but I have changed my mind about stress, and today I want to change yours. As the end of 2023 and the start of 2024 comes ever closer, the air is thick with uncertainty and change. Stress is unavoidable, and I bet no one here is looking forward to that. But in this speech, I hope to change that. Maybe next time you have a test upcoming or a job interview or a speech and debate tournament, you won't curse your pounding heart and trembling hands. Maybe you'll even welcome them. In 2013, Stanford lecturer and health psychologist CamillePaekSpeechDeclamation gave this speech at the TED Global Conference. In it, she tries to reframe the bad reputation of stress and teaches how it can positively impact their lives. How to Make Stress Your Friend by CamillePaekSpeechDeclamation. Let me start with a study that made me rethink my whole approach to stress. This study tracked 30,000 adults in the United States for 8 years, and they started by asking people, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, do you believe that stress is harmful for your health? And then they used public death records to find out who died. Okay, some bad news first. People who experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who also believe that stress is harmful for your health. Now, the researchers estimated that over the 8 years they were tracking deaths, 182,000 Americans died prematurely, not from stress, but from the belief that stress is bad for you. That is over 20,000 deaths a year. If that estimate is correct, that would make believing stress is bad for you the 15th largest cause of deaths in the United States last year, killing more people than skin cancer, HIV, and homicide. You can see why this study freaked me out. So, can changing how you think about stress make you healthier? The science says yes. When you change your mind about stress, you can change your body's response to stress. Now to explain how this works. I want you all to pretend that you are participants in a study designed to stress you out, the social stress test. You come into the laboratory and you're told you have to give a 5-minute impromptu speech on your personal weaknesses to a panel of expert evaluators sitting right in front of you. And to make sure you feel the pressure, there are bright lights and a camera in your face. Now that you're sufficiently demoralized, time for part 2, a math test. And unbeknownst to you, the experimenter has been trained to harass you during it. If you were actually in this study, you'd probably feel a little stressed out. Your heart might be pounding, you might be breathing faster, maybe breaking out in a sweat. And normally, we interpret these physical changes as anxiety or signs that we aren't coping very well with the pressure. But what if you viewed them instead as signs that your body was energized, preparing you to meet this challenge? Now, that is exactly what participants were told in a study conducted at Harvard University. Before they went through the social stress test, they were taught to rethink their stress response as helpful. That pounding heart is preparing you for action. If you're breathing faster, it's no problem. It's getting more oxygen to your brain. And participants who learned to view the stress response as helpful for their performances, well, they were less stressed out, less anxious, more confident. But the most fascinating finding to me was how their physical stress response changed. Now, in a typical stress response, your heart rate goes up and your blood vessels constrict. And this is one of the reasons that chronic stress is sometimes associated with cardiovascular disease. It's not really healthy to be in this state all the time. But in a study, when participants viewed their stress response as helpful, their blood vessels stayed relaxed. Their heart was still pounding, but this is a much healthier cardiovascular profile. It actually looks a lot like what happens in moments of joy and courage. Over a lifetime of stressful experiences, this one biological change could be the difference between a stress-induced heart attack at 50 years and living well into your 90s. And this is really what the new science of stress reveals, that how you think about stress matters. I want to finish by telling you one more study. And listen up, because this study could also save a life. This study tracked about 1,000 adults in the United States, and they ranged in age from 34 to 93. And they started the study by asking, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, how much time have you spent helping your friends, neighbors, people in your community? And then they used public records for the next 5 years to find out who died again. Okay, so the bad news first. For every major stressful life experience, like financial difficulties or family crisis, that increased the risk of dying by 30%. But, and I hope you are expecting a but by now, but that wasn't true for everyone. People who spend time caring for others showed absolutely no stress-related increase in dying. 0. Caring created resilience. And so we see once again that the harmful effects of stress on your health are not inevitable. How you think and how you act can transform your experience of stress. When you choose to view your stress response as helpful, you create the biology of courage. And when you choose to view your stress, and when you choose to connect with others under stress, you can create resilience. Now, I wouldn't necessarily ask for more stressful experiences in my life, but this science has given me a whole new appreciation for stress. Stress gives us access to our hearts, the compassionate heart that finds joy and meaning in connecting with others. And yes, your pounding physical heart working so hard to give you strength and energy. So when you reach out to others under stress, your stress response becomes healthier, and you actually recover faster from stress. I find this amazing, that your response has a built-in mechanism for stress resilience, and that mechanism is human connection. And when you choose to view stress in this way, you're not just getting better at stress, you're actually making a pretty profound statement. You're saying that you trust yourself to handle life's challenges, and you're remembering that you don't have to face them alone. So my goal has changed. I no longer want to get rid of your stress. I want to make you better at stress. And we just did a little intervention. Hopefully, the next time your heart is pounding from stress, you're going to remember this talk and you're going to think to yourself, this is my body helping me rise to the challenge. And when you view stress in that way, your body believes you and your stress response becomes healthier. Thank you.